The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet, with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my site, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you're encouraged to post your comments, whether you agree with yours truly or not. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I got to tell you guys something. Let me get a little more light on the subject here, see if this helps things out a little bit. I'm in a little different location than I normally am, see if that's a little bit better. Yes, I know Boaz. Boaz was online with our guest and lost him. Let me tell you, while we're waiting for that, something very interesting that happened today. I went to an elementary school of all places to do a career day talk with a bunch of other professional type people, including a woman pilot and doctors and sports reporter and a professional photographer, a bunch of great people. I mean, this principal, who's a friend of mine, just puts it together top notch for the kids every year. And I really enjoyed talking with them. Well, I was in one of the groups I was in. There were only 3 kids. I got to tell you something. There were 2 boys and a girl. One of the boys was a webmaster. Now, this is a 5th grade kid. He's a webmaster. And I got to tell you, I saw his work. It's awesome. Another one of the boys can code. 5th grader. He's some kind of like a savant. It's amazing. And the girl wants to be a reporter. And I thought, we got all the makings here of putting together a good little news team in northern New Jersey of student reporters. It was quite interesting. Well, Boaz was on the line with our guest, lost the connection. He keeps dialing back, and he keeps getting an answering machine. But I'm going to set it up, and even if we don't get him, I see that there are already people in queue to talk who want to talk about the issue at hand. And it's this. When the G-20 took place the past couple of days in London, the demonstrators were out there in pretty large numbers. And some of them identified themselves as anarchists, and what was really interesting was that the coverage that they received was almost greater than the coverage that the leaders of the 20-some-odd economies that countries that control the economies were having to discuss the economic problems in the world. Some of them declared that they wanted to bring down the global monetary system, although it seems to be doing a pretty good job of doing that from within. Some of them wanted to go up against the big banks. They even, some of them smashed the windows of some banks and occupied. Some of them declared that they wanted to outlaw money, although that kind of begs the question of how they got there in the first place. They were watched carefully by police, and sometimes there were clashes. They are on the watch list of various terrorist tracking organizations, but are they really terrorists? And if the demonstrations were organized, how can they be anarchists? Although I'm kind of told, well, anarchists, you don't quite know the definition of it, Gary. Well, we were hoping to have Eric Laursen, Laursen, a longtime global justice and anti-war activist who has contributed to and has helped organize protests against the IMF and the World Bank and the Free Trade Area of the Americas and the World Trade Organization. Join us to talk about, exactly what it is you want. Turn the video off and breaking up. What it is they really want. But he's not here. So we're going to talk about if any of you know what these anarchists want, and we're going to open up the lines to other issues as well today, because I'm really not in the mood to try to find other things to talk about. So you guys help me keep it going today. Jim in Michigan, what do you think these guys want when they're smashing windows and they want to tear the system down? Welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Well, they probably want the same thing that our citizens want here. They want to keep everything they had. They don't want to lose everything. And writing into your leaders doesn't always seem to apply that you get a result. And people will physically demonstrate. That's what I think they want. What I want is for that missile not to be launched in North Korea. Pictures have already shown it's probably not a missile or of any size magnitude where it could harm us. So therefore, even if it is launched, I don't think we should do any retaliation. That's where I stand.
Well, there are those who are going to be watching very carefully how the United States approaches this issue, and if the United States doesn't do anything about this missile, if the North Koreans actually launch it, I think Barack Obama, don't you, Jim, is going to be viewed by many as being weak. The Republicans are going to jump all over it.
Well, is he going to be weak? First of all, is it a missile that is actually capable of the warhead to go against us? Is it capable of the long distance? And should we warn them now? And by a warning, should we actually take measures that we're not stating we are? Should we go into an Iraq situation and war over it? I don't think we should go that far.
Well, I don't know. Is it really a missile or is it a satellite that they're launching? They claim that it's a satellite. Why would we shoot it down? Maybe it's a spy satellite. I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, whatever it is, I don't know why they're wasting money on it. They can't even afford to light up the capital city of North Korea. If you want to talk about satellites, if you want to talk about satellites, if you look at the satellite imagery of the Korean Peninsula, the south is all lit up at night and the north is dark. You can see the border, the demarcation. So why they're wasting their money on this, I really don't know, but they have a closed society. I'm more concerned actually about the American reporters who were arrested in North Korea than I am about the missile launch, frankly. I mean, if they fire a missile onto Japan,